doctor said if you apply the ointment daily, that the rash should go away. I'm sorry, we were live? My bad, Jake.
Buff Nation.
You!
All right. The DNVR postgame show for Colorado at Washington State. The Buffs fall 56-14.
Yeah.
It wasn't even close. Shedeur got hurt. Everything went wrong. We are presented by Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Sign up with the code BUFFS, BUFFS. You get $20 off your first purchase. All right, biggest takeaway. Who wants to start?
Welcome to Buff Shit. This was Buff Shit at its absolute finest. Obviously, Colorado goes down 14-0 on a strip sack fumble. That was Buff Shit in itself. But then they go and they have a nice little drive. And a beautiful throw from Shedeur gives Travis a chance. Touchdown makes it 14-7. Immediate kick return touchdown. That is the Buff Shittest of Buff Shit.
We didn't even have a moment.
We had a moment. We sang the fight song in the bar.
That
was
is
it.
true, actually.
That was it. And from there on, it was wheels came off the wagon. And my biggest takeaway, to be honest, is that we've been fucking telling everyone what would happen if Shedeur didn't play a game. And you just saw what happens if Shedeur doesn't play a game. So, look, could they have potentially done a better job of filling the backup quarterback position? Maybe. But we always knew, if you don't have two, you're fucked. And that's what happened tonight.
Big takeaway, Neely. Go ahead.
We lost. Got our ass kicked. I haven't been around here long enough to know what Buff Shit is. You know, I peeped game with the 1 of the 11 last year, but I don't know the history of Buff Shit, but I know bullshit when I see it. And this was bullshit because this was a game, and I'm talking about like from the beginning of the game. Like this was a game that you had to have if you're going to get 2 wins to go to a bowl game. So you expected more energy, more attention to detail, all those kind of things. So let's keep in mind that well before Shedeur got hurt, he was already sacked 3 times. I think it was the 4th one, that he got hurt on. We almost had a punt blocked early in the game. Shedeur found Travis. Travis adjusted the ball for a great touchdown. But this was a team that offensively only drove the ball on us once. Their primary scores were special teams. They ran one back, a scoop and score, sack fumble score. We were in this game, but still not calling plays and executing like we were in this game. And so when Shedeur goes out, you're exactly right, RK. You just don't have it without him. And before anybody hits the panic button on like that, that's any team with a starting great quarterback.
Yep.
The NFL has salary cap issues that prevent them from having a number 2 that is just as good or greater than the number 1. And in college, you don't have salary cap, but you have playing time. And no one who is just as good as a Caleb Williams or Shedeur is going to go to a school that already has a Caleb or Shedeur. So
Amen.
there's going to be a drop-off. Next year, there's going to be a drop-off. But a better job of protecting QB1, and you got a chance to really win this game, man, and go into Utah with hope and promise versus going into Utah with the knowing full damn well it is the end of the season. Because no matter what happens in Utah, there is no bowl game. It guarantees, sorry, Jake, it guarantees that for the first time in his coaching life, that Coach Sanders, Coach Prime, will have a below 500 record.
My big takeaway is this team needs work. This current team needs work. They need to get better at blocking, tackling, the basics, the fundamentals of football. And this roster for the future needs work. We are not 7 to 9 players away. We are more than that.
I would disagree.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I disagree with it because if you look at this game, it's the whole season we've been that way.
I just think that you're maybe overacting a little to the fact of what happened without Shedeur.
I mean, it's true, but now it's clear you need a backup quarterback.
Okay.
It's another player.
So 8 to 10?
No, I mean, we need more. We need depth at linebacker. Trevor was out tonight. Linebackers were not able to do anything, really.
But also remember that Juju is also out.
No. So
Yeah,
put another player on the list then.
I hear you, Jake. I'm going to fist bump you because I hear you, but I think that's soreness from the ass whooping talking.
Maybe.
When I look at the totality of this season, we have played now 11 games, right? Oregon in this one, ass whoopings, right? That leaves us 9. 4 of those 9 we won. The other 4 we were either leading or winning.
Yep.
And so when I was watching those games, I didn't think we were 10 or 12 players away. As a matter of fact, I thought we were less than 7 away. I'm going to still hold on to that. Tonight was just poor execution, poor preparation to some degree as related to the execution. And again, I'm making that judgment call before Shedeur got out, because the punt that was almost blocked, the turnover, the touchdown, the special teams blunder, like we spotted them points. And then when you lose QB1, you don't have the firepower to catch up.
I'm going to give you credit, Jake, because I think you're right. They are more than 7 to 9 players away in totality. They are 7 to 9 starters away.
Impact players, yes.
Yep. But they need a lot more when it comes to depth.
Absolutely.
And depth has reared its ugly head over the course of this season. And I think tonight was the ultimate rearing of its head. On the one position that this sport seesaws on. And they didn't have a backup quarterback. And that's no disrespect to Ryan Staub or Gavin Cold, because those guys gave their best. And you saw Gavin make a couple nice plays. You saw Ryan make a couple nice plays. But we've known all season that this team rides on one player. And Travis makes a big impact too, but you can only go as far as your quarterback will take you. And so tonight you saw what happens when the quarterback depth gets tested on top of the rest of this team, where it sounds like there's a little bit of a sickness going around the team right now. Several players did not even make the trip to Washington State.
Yep.
And so Trevor Woods is out, Juju's out, Smoke is out. There's several guys who didn't play tonight. And so the depth, which has been a little bit covered up by how good 2 is, now got put to the full test because you had to go beyond 2. And it's not there. It's not there. So they need 7 to 9 starters. I'll stand on that. Even if you got 7 high-level starters, I think that could be enough to get you to compete for a Big 12 title next year. But you need more than that behind them.
This team reminds me of like the Houston Texans teams of the early 2010s, where they just had premier top-tier talent. But once those guys were out of the game and they got hurt, they had nothing. I know, kind of a weird comparison, but still, it's just. This is probably a rebuild beyond what we were expecting and beyond what Coach Prime was expecting at the end of the day.
This roster was going to flip. We could have won tonight. I'm not saying we could have won as in we could have won. I mean, just even had we won tonight, this roster is going to flip 75% this summer. And it was going to do that anyway.
And they need it. They need it again.
That absolutely was going to happen. It was going to happen even without this win or losing or the record. It's attrition. You look at the guys who have to leave, who have exhausted their eligibility. You look at the guys who are going to choose to leave. You look at the guys that we're going to sign. When you hear Coach Prime say he's 7-8 away, he wasn't talking about 7-8 guys on the scout team. He was talking about 7-8 starters. And then next year it's going to be the same situation. Without 2, you're going to be fucked. Because it ain't because the rest of the team sucks. It's because he's that dude.
Yep.
He is Jordan on the Bulls.
How
LeBron
are the Chiefs without
with Mahomes?
Without Mahomes? How are the Bengals
it
without Burrow?
Yeah. It's just, that's no slight to everybody else on the roster. He's just that dynamic. He is a generational talent. Same thing with Travis. So when they're out, you miss it big time. And that dynamic will not change next year based on who we bring in. This will be a better team next year, talent and depth-wise, and you'll see better performance. But this was piss poor at best, and I still say it's piss poor before he got hurt.
I think it was 14-7 last night when Joe Burrow got hurt. The game ended 34-13. That's what happens when you lose your starting quarterback. I know everyone's upset tonight. And the reason most people are upset is because this is the end of a long losing streak, and you have one more game left, and bowl eligibility went out the window tonight, and this was a game that we thought we could win. So I get it. I'm with you guys. I'm frustrated too. But let's not pretend like we didn't know the game was over the second the 2 went out. The game was fucking over.
And let's also not pretend that we're upset because we believe.
I'm just saying, though, like, the game was over.
I
it
hear
was
you.
21-7 in that moment, and it felt like, okay, they just got a little bit going on offense. Maybe there's a chance here. Shador takes a hit. It kind of, I don't know what happened on that play because the ball looked like it got snapped into his crotch. And I thought, okay, that's why he's down on the ground.
But when that happened, and I was telling you guys down at the bar, we have to make a decision. We have to make a decision. We have to make a decision. I said it a couple times. It wasn't about him getting hit in the balls. It was about looking at the way this game was going, and he had already been sacked 4 times. Why is he still out there? Like, I would submit to you that we're probably going to find out in the coming days that he wasn't injured. He was just hurting, which he's been hurt in the past games. But the way the game was going, even before he got hurt, he had already been sacked 4 times.
Yep.
He had been knocked down 3 on top of that.
I
At some point, you got to go like, you know what, y'all? Come on.
I think the stat was 10 plays Colorado ran. 4 of them were sacks.
It's like, that's why I hear you. Amen. You got to have him in the game. But there were problems while he was in the game.
Absolutely.
That shouldn't have been problems.
They absolutely were. But I just want everyone, like, when you get beat like this, sometimes perspective goes out the window. And I understand it. Look, we all just stayed up until 12:30 watching our favorite team get their ass beat. And it's easy to forget what actually happened.
Yeah.
What actually happened is the best player on the team didn't play 3/4 of the game. And so, of course, you're going to get your fucking ass beat.
Yeah. I just saw something scroll by that I want to address. I think it said Sandra Muhammad. I am not mad. And let me tell you why I'm not mad. Most of the people who were pissed that you asked them in August what this record was going to be, they wouldn't have picked 4 games.
No, they were set at 3.5 in Vegas.
They wouldn't have picked 4 games.
He said this team was barely going to cover their one win from last year.
Some quote-unquote experts say they're the worst roster in the entire Division One.
Let's stop this revisionist history shit and go back to July and August before we started the season when everybody was saying this team ain't going to be ready yet. It's going to be much harder than that. But we win 3, drop 2, get another one, get 4 games. Everybody's now believing, and you're pissed because you believed. You ain't pissed at the record because you did not believe you were going to be this good. You didn't believe you were going to be in that Oregon State game. You didn't believe the USC game was going to be that close. And then when it happens, and then the wheels start wobbling and come off, and we roll into this losing streak, now you want to be mad. Man, same energy. You didn't believe in the first place. But let me tell you what I believe, how damn good this team is going to be next year. Because if you don't see, you take out this game in Oregon, those 2 losses we took it, totally different season if we learn how to finish games. And that's why I'm saying to you, Jake, I hear you about we need 15 more players, 20 more players. You're damn right. But we didn't need 15 more to beat USC. We needed, what, 1 more play? We didn't need 15 or 20 more to beat Oregon State. What do we need, 1 more play? Just those 2. Stanford, what do we need? just hell, a first down? That's bowl eligible right there with those 3 games. You know, so I'm not going to let this ass kicking tonight change my opinion about where we are, where we've come from, and where we're going.
This in from Brian Howell. He said Deion Sanders was under the weather tonight, was dealing with flu-like symptoms. Very quick to get to the post-game presser. No players made available to media tonight, so it was quick in and out for them as well.
Yeah, there has been a flu bug making its way through the locker room, but that ain't why we lost.
All right, shout out to our friends
Didn't
at
help, though.
Breckenridge Distillery. If you came to the bar tonight, chances are you enjoyed some Breckenridge Distillery. They got all kinds of spirits and good stuff. The world's highest distillery, founded in 2008. Most widely known for their blended bourbon whiskey, high rye mash American-style whiskey. They got all kinds of stuff, though. You can check out their Broncos Blizzard. New vodka commemorating the first white alternate Broncos helmets. Breckenridge Distillery products are available in all 50 states. Shop your local retailer. Visit BreckenridgeDistillery.com for home delivery of award-winning Breckenridge spirits everywhere. And then also shout out to our friends at Hero Bread. What can you tell us about Hero Bread, Ryan?
Yeah, I love the way you toss it.
Unbelievable stuff. Truly unbelievable stuff because, look, we all love bread, right?
Of course.
God.
But bread equals carbs. And if you're watching your weight, carbs aren't good. So if you're trying to get on a diet and you're looking for a low carb option, Hero Bread has it for you, man.
Shout out to Hero
The
Bread.
bread is unbelievable, but as great as the bread is, the tortillas are revolutionary.
What a good name to it. Hero. It's the hero of breads.
It is the hero.
It's your
of breads.
hero?
It is my hero. And by the way, boys, I'm staying strong this weekend. I've been good on my diet all
You
week,
have. Yep.
and I didn't break it tonight.
No, you had a salad at the half, man.
I had a salad at halftime.
Yeah.
So I'm staying strong, and Hero Bread is helping me out.
Right now, Hero Bread is offering the DNVR fam 10% off their first order. Just go to hero.co and use your code DNVR.
You better do it.
Our code DNVR to save on Hero Bread today. That's
better.
HERO.co to save
what I'm
10%
talking
today.
about.
All right, quick game rundown.
Yeah, quick.
The Buffs lost the toss, deferred to the second half, so offense was up first, and quick 3 and out. Shador sacked on the third play of the game on 3rd and 5. Washington State gets the ball on their own 35. They drive all the way down the field, score a touchdown. Colorado gets the ball back. First drive after that, sacked. Shador sacked again later on that drive, and then 3rd and 7, Shador sacked for an 11-yard loss. The play is fumbled. Recovered by Brendan Jackson. He returns it 40 yards to the house. Scores 14-0.
Looks like Bo Jackson.
Colorado gets the ball back. They actually get a first down finally, but they still end up punting. Mark Vissett, great punt. Pins them at the 7-yard line. Washington State goes 3 and out. The Buffs get the ball back. First down, nothing. Second down, nothing. Third down, Shador finds Travis Hunter for a 45-yard touchdown. Shout out to Travis on that play.
Yeah, shout out to
His
Travis,
ball
just
skills are
period,
just
man.
Best ball skills I've ever seen from
world
anyone ever.
class. World class. Well, it was fun while it lasted. Buffs were down only 7. It was 14-7. And then Leighton Smithson takes back the ensuing kickoff 98 yards to the house.
Untouched.
Untouched.
That's the end of the game.
That's
Yep.
the end of the first quarter.
No, that's the end of the game.
You told me to go to a certain spot.
I'm just saying
No,
that
he's
was
just
when the
saying
game
that's
ended.
when the game ended. And let me fist bump you because that's what I'm preaching. The
up,
game
Big Teasy?
was over before Shador got hurt.
You're right.
The Buffs go 3 and out right at the end of the first quarter. Washington State gets the ball back. They drive all the way down the field. It's
That 3 and out
28-7.
is symbolic because that's when Shador went out.
Not yet. It's 28-7. Buffs get the ball back. I believe this is Shador's last drive. He gets it's credited as a rush up the middle for 5 yards, but he fumbled the ball. He recovered it, and then Washington State comes in 3 and out, and then that's when Staub checks into the game, and it's over.
He went out and came back one time.
Regardless, the second that they let that kick go back, all of the wind was taken out of their sails. Shador gets hit, I think, on the next drive. Maybe it's one drive after that. Regardless. And like Unc said,
What's up, DeBarrow?
they had to make a decision. We've been talking about it. We actually talked about it 2 weeks ago when we
Yeah.
said, is it time to shut down Shador? It wasn't then.
Nope.
It was probably tonight. And I expect him to play next week against Utah.
Absolutely.
But when you get hit on 40% of the plays that you've run from scrimmage,
Amen. Shador Sanders, as I said, I don't think looking at the body language on the sideline, the doctors, the head coach, I don't think he was injured. I think he was hurt. And he has played hurt probably the past 4 or 5 weeks. But you could see the way the pounding was coming that he was going to continue to get hit. So why do it? So I do think he'll play against Utah. But I also say if it's first quarter, early second, and he's looking at 6 sacks again, why are we out here?
yeah, well, and also he, after the, I want to say second drive, he's dealing with some sort of feeling issue in his hand.
Well, so from Nikki Edwards just now, she said, Coach Prime said Shador's first injury was numbness in his hand after he got hit in the forearm. He couldn't really grip the ball. Second injury was his ankle. Then Coach Prime said he couldn't grip the ball on his ankle, couldn't feel his ankle, so they took him out of the game.
And what
They should.
And what I'm telling you is, in past weeks, consecutive weeks, that same similar thing has happened, and he's took an aspirin or a shot and wouldn't play. But why do that tonight?
Well,
And why do it next week? Like, it is what it is.
you know, sometimes in basketball, you'll see a team down like 25 in the third quarter, and the backups will be in, and the coach will tell them, you know, because we get coaches mic'd up on the sidelines. The coach will tell them, you get this down to 12, we'll let the starters back in.
Yep.
And I felt like that was kind of the situation here, which was like, you guys are too far out of it for us to need to risk Shador's health.
Yep.
Because you know what? This game was essentially lost when that kick return went to the house.
Yeah.
And bowl eligibility went out the window.
And I want to deep dive on that, RK, because I believe that you were spot on. When you look at the way this team is built, currently built, you spot somebody, a turnover that leads to points, and a special team score that leads to points, you're in a 14-point hole.
Yep.
When have we come back from 14 down this year?
I don't think we have.
We haven't.
Some more post-game quotes. Coach Prime was asked about shutting Shador down. He said Shador's not that kind of player that he wants to shut it down. He wants to finish with his teammates, I'm pretty sure. I haven't talked to him about it, but I'm pretty sure he wants to finish. Also, Coach Prime, just on the team's identity, it's not who we are. I'm still trying to figure out our identity, trying to figure out who we are in turbulent times, and I still don't know. After all these weeks, I still don't know.
I will say this and echo something that Coach Prime said after last week when the guys didn't quit. Man, shout out to Shiloh, JD, some guys like that on defense who were still trying to fly to the ball when there was no damn way we were coming back. Like, you could still see that there was some personal and Colorado pride in them, that they weren't just saying, all right, let the clock run, so let's leave. They were still trying to make plays, man.
Coach Prime says Travis is good for what it's worth, too.
Man, what a fucking catch. The catch that Travis got dinged up on was remarkable, and it's why I've been saying all year, just throw it up for him. Because I've been saying throw it up for him when he's in single coverage. Well, that was in double coverage.
That was triple.
Yeah, triple
That was
coverage.
triple. He came over late, but he was there.
Stop said, fuck it. I'm throwing it to Travis.
Yeah, and, we've said that same thing, RK, when Tua is in the game and Zay is streaking down the sideline. Although, once again, some PIs were missed.
My God.
But it's still just statistically, sorry, I can't talk. You just open yourself up for just throw it. Let him go get it, because they're either going to grab him or he's going to catch it. But standing there and taking a sack, it just ain't helping us.
Yep.
All right, shout out to our friends at Olipop, the new kind of soda. It's delicious, and it's good for your gut. Packed with 9 grams of prebiotics in every can. Also makes a great mixer. Uncle Neely finally tried the red one for the first time.
I appreciate you saying the color. I saw Alyssa move, and I was like, oh, she's about to grab me another Olipop. But then she just checked her
You're
email
good.
or something.
No, you're good. Use the code DNVR20 for 20% off your next Olipop order on drinkolipop.com. Olipop can also be found in over 22,000 stores across the country,
22,000.
including King Super, Safeway, Walmart, Target, Whole Foods, and Sprouts. And then our great friends at Game Time. One final game for the Buffs this year.
Let me say this to the folks at home watching around the world. I'm bobbing my head and tapping, not because we lost. The playlist down there is jamming, man. I don't know if y'all can hear, but it's kicking ass. So I just got a little rhythm going.
No matter what city you're in, no matter what team you are, if you want to get in the doors, check out Game Time. Also great for concerts, events, whatever's going on in your city. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code BUFFS, BUFFS, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code BUFFS, BUFFS, for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
Jake with the rad read.
Buffs are going to be putting some new flavor in your ear next year.
Hey, man, I'm hanging, dog.
Oh, sorry.
No problem. Hey, shout out to the Jimmy Horn Jr. shirt, the Travis Hunter shirt. We will never wear them at the same time again. But they're
Facts.
dope shirts.
And shout out to Allie, who hooked me up with this Anthony Lawrence collection.
I think she loves you, man.
Yeah, I think she does too. It's pretty cool. This jacket for our 7th anniversary.
Happy 7th, Allie.
I'm looking forward to getting married so we can start a new anniversary.
So I guess we'll just start with this. Where do we go from here? Next weekend, it's going to be a tough game.
Absolutely.
Who knows what Shador's status is, but we are going to face one of the best teams in the country again next week. A team that is going to have a hell of a battle this weekend against Arizona. And, I mean, we've talked about the future a lot. And I don't want to just skip past the last game of the season, but things will get better.
Absolutely. When this thing started, you and I used to talk off air, Jake. I had us winning 6 games.
That's what we had too.
2 of those games were Stanford and Arizona, and we lost those. And, tonight and next week I didn't have us doing. That doesn't mean we can't do them. I neither don't know every damn thing. But we're going to Utah, and we're facing a team that a lot of the things that we do poorly, they do well. And there's some contrast there that just does not make it an advantageous matchup for us, like we had with Stanford or Arizona, games that we coulda, woulda, shoulda. But we'll see. And then you just want to, like RK touched on this about this game, when he said that how you want to finish the season with that good taste in your mouth, no pause.
Yep.
Like there's still an opportunity to not have so many losses in a row to go out with a win. So hopefully the guys will be up for that. I expect Shedeur to play. I don't have a text message or any other information that says he's injured. He's just hurting, and it was precautionary to not make a hurt turn into an injury. So I believe he's going to play unless something happens in that game to just say, okay, well, come on now. It's a wrap. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. But you're right, Jake. We can't go too far ahead to next year. We got one more.
You got one more. If you get to 5-7, you have a chance to go to a bowl. Neely, you've been saying all year, and this is my biggest reason why I think the Buffs have a chance. You've been saying all year, like, this team would go beat Utah.
Absolutely. We're crazy.
Yep.
Two games ago now, I believe this team could go 0-3 to close out the fourth quarter or 3-0. You just don't know what you're going to get. And when you look at what we did at TCU, what we did in Nebraska, what we did with Arizona State, teams where all three phases showed up at periods during the game, we definitely have on the roster what it takes to beat Utah in Utah.
It's crazy to say, but the Pac-12 is a crazy conference.
It is, man.
Stanford had no business beating Colorado. Cal had no business beating Washington State. It happens all the time.
And did Stanford beat Washington State as well, right?
Did they beat Washington State?
This is their first win since September.
Yeah. Could be. So, yeah. I mean, crazy things happen. We all know it's unlikely. They're probably going to be 20-plus point underdogs.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Vegas was kind making us for this game.
It's a shame that we are where we are, because at the very least, Colorado should have been playing for bowl eligibility every week for the last 4 or 5 weeks, however many weeks it's been since they played Stanford. Yeah. That loss is something we'll be talking about all offseason, because it completely took the wind out of the sails of the team. And it's unfortunate. But if you put 2 on the field, I'll give the Buffs a chance to win any given week.
Man, you put 2 on the field, we got a chance to beat the Carolina Panthers.
With this loss, the Buffs fall to last in the Pac-12.
Yep.
They are 1-7. There are 4 2-win teams in front of them, but it's looking like the basement again.
Last in the pack with 4 wins, and last year was last in the pack with 1 win. One thing about the conference was better this year than last year.
100%.
You had throughout the season, man, you had a lot of ranked teams in the conference. And I still go back to some of those ranked teams, man, we played damn close. We're either up in the game or could have had the opportunity to win the game late.
Yep. And if you think that this team is no different than last year's team because they end up in the same place in the conference, you're out of your mind. And you just didn't watch last year. And I understand that many of the people who are watching this year didn't watch last year, so it's okay. You just didn't watch last year. But last year they lost every game like tonight.
Mm-hmm. Every single weekend, literally.
Every single
Besides
game
Cal.
looked like that. I'm not even fucking exaggerating.
No.
Like, there's a reason why I'm not that hurt right now.
Yeah.
Because I've been like this before.
And
I've felt this way too many times.
And not to speak for you, but not only do you have that history, you also have the escalator mentality.
100%. And so Jake and I sat in that bar alone for like 7 weeks last year, watching them lose like that every single time. So to see them compete with teams like Arizona and UCLA and Oregon State and everyone except for Oregon and Washington State, which the wheels fell off tonight when Shore went out, gives me perspective that a lot of people don't have because they just weren't watching last year.
You touched on something, though, man. I don't want you to gloss over it because it was deep to me because I'm the new guy here. You said you and Jake watched 7 weeks alone. You had a crowd down there tonight. You had a crowd
Full.
that
Bar
you
was
had a
packed.
crowd that didn't leave until it was just fucking over.
Yep.
Like that in itself is a big difference from last year.
It's a huge difference, and people believe. And that creates a different kind of pain, but it's a much, much better pain to lose when you believe than to lose when you don't believe. And you just
Absolutely.
walk
Yeah,
into
well
the game and
said.
say, all right, well, let's hope for a miracle. And then, last year in the last game of the season, they were down 28-0 in the first quarter. And it was just over. And it was just like, okay, well, all right, let's go home. So
Or get drunk and start
things
a fight.
have changed tremendously. They averaged losing last year by 29 points. Every game, they lost by an average of 29 points.
And we're averaging scoring more than that now.
Exactly. So they've come a long way. And I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Bobby Bowden. First you lose big, then you lose close, then you win close, then you win big. Tonight was a step in the wrong direction when it comes to that. But we know why it happened. Let's not pretend. Let's not try to make a big deal out of anything other than the best player for the team was not on the field. And I'm not going to let that make me sweat on the escalator.
Yeah. And it's one of those situations, RK, where not the best player on the field in terms of a Travis Hunter, who someone has to get him the ball. The best player on the field who's the guy who always gets the ball. And everything that happens after starts with him.
Yep.
Whether he hands it off RPO or who he throws it to, he's not only the guy, he makes the decisions that impacts the other guys. And for 75% of the game, he wasn't out there.
And Evans and they're saying nothing has changed. You just didn't watch. I know for a fact you didn't watch if you think nothing has changed.
Here's what I'll say. Coach
Say it.
Prime just said that this is probably the hardest stretch of his life. That's what he said in the post-game press conference. And just knowing, I don't know him, but who he is as a person and what he's accomplished in his life, I have no doubt that this program, this team will be better because of this season.
Oh, yeah.
There is going to be a lot of changes moving forward all around this program, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And, man, he's going to get it right. I believe in Coach Prime still, 100%.
If you take his coaching career, his playing career, and put it all together and just bet on him every time, you'd be pretty damn rich.
It's been even more clear tonight. There's opportunity for guys. If you can play and you want to come play for Shedeur Sanders, Deion Sanders, and Travis Hunter, come on in because you're going to probably be inserted to the starting lineup right away if you can play.
Mm-hmm.
All over the field.
I want to see Coach Prime with his back against the wall because I have a feeling he's going to come out swinging.
Absolutely. It's all he knows.
Yep.
Since he was a little kid trying to get his mama out of Fort Myers.
Pushing that cart in the hospital.
And what happened?
She ain't in the hospital pushing that cart.
She's
Tell
in
you
a
that damn much.
Big old house and a king bed.
One of many. Which one you want to sleep in? This one.
Driving a beautiful car. I believe, man. I
I'm
will.
betting on him.
You always bet on Coach Prime. You always bet on Deion Sanders, and it will pay off for you in the end. And to all the haters who are watching the show, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for
man,
the
man, I
extra.
love the
appreciate
haters.
you.
Appreciate you.
Algorithms don't know
You-
love or hate.
Yeah, advertisers don't know love or
Yeah,
hate.
Please.
So thank you. You're making us money.
All right, then.
Jake loves that money.
Shout out to our friends at Circa. We are taking a Broncos road trip. DNVR is for the last Broncos game of the season to Circa. There's opportunities to win tomorrow at the bar.
There are 10 opportunities to win a free trip to Vegas over the next 2 days. 5 of them between 4 p.m. and 9 p.m. tomorrow. If you're at the DNVR bar between 4 p.m. and 9 p.m. tomorrow, you get a chance every hour to win a free trip to Las Vegas to go watch Broncos Raiders with us. Insane deal. If you lose out on that, run it back at the tailgate before Sunday Night Football, Broncos Vikings, which suddenly has become a super intriguing game. And you have a chance 5 more times to win a free trip to Vegas. You've never had this good of a chance to win a free trip to Vegas. So all you got to do is come to the bar, come to the tailgate, and party with DNVR, and you might end up with a free trip to Vegas. That's about as good as it gets.
So let me give a shout out to the bar, man, because this was been here many times, but this was my first time here at night for the bar scene when sports was on TV. Kicks ass, man.
Yeah, it does.
If you are in Metro Denver, you got to come hang out here. Whether you are a Colorado sports fan of your team is not here, you'll love the energy, man. And get that Ralphie spicy chicken sandwich.
This
Shout out to
Sunday,
the Ralphie.
head to the Broncos tailgate. They're giving out five trips for free. Don't miss out. And then shout out to our friends at Shady Rays. Take on the sun
Shady
with gear
Rays.
built to last. Our friends Shady Rays have you covered for the bright, beautiful Colorado weather that's coming very, very soon. Durable frames, extremely clear polarized optics. You can shop their entire collection online or at the Park Meadows Mall. And Shady Rays is currently in their biggest sale of the year for Black Friday. Don't miss out on the best deals for shades, snow goggles, and prescription sunglasses. Go to shadyrays.com and try for yourself. The shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people.
Hey, Jake, one more thing about the bar, man, and RK. You know, we first got together to do this collab, this partnership. We talked about, hey, man, you know, we really need to do a show from the bar when the game is on. And I'm not saying this because of the outcome of the game. I'm mostly saying it because of the weather there, too. And it's a Friday night. We picked the right damn game to stay home and do the show from the bar.
Yeah, we did.
It was
Now-
awesome.
I certainly wish that we could have been celebrating with our friends on the bar all night long. But this loss would have sucked a little bit more if we were sitting in freezing Pullman, Washington right now.
You're right. Had we won, great energy. But shout out to the bar crowd in that first quarter. School song, fight song, energy up.
Yep.
Nice vibe, man. Nice vibe. We'll be in Utah, so hopefully they'll still be kicking ass in the bar without us.
We'll be there. Jake's going to show us around. He's going to show us how to have a good time in Salt Lake City.
It's not very possible.
I'm just staying close to RK.
I got you.
Yeah.
I don't got much to say. We can go to Super Chats if you guys are ready.
We are
Born
more than ready.
Been waiting on you.
KT. Yeah. Don't
Oh,
forget
yeah.
it's a whole new conference next year.
It
Absolutely.
is. Big 12, here we come.
It's going to be a beautiful thing on the Winnebago.
Rev BJ Nelson,
gonna say
Polynesian
it.
recruits from here on the West Coast.
I don't know what that means, but Colorado has always actually had success recruiting Polynesian players. Some of the best players in Colorado history have come from the Polynesian areas, whether that's Hawaii or American Samoa. So keep an eye out. We might have a chance there.
And then Curtis with the $5 Super Chat. Appreciate you, man.
Thanks,
Shout out to
Curtis.
Curtis.
CMJ.
Junior.
Capwise, appreciate you for tuning in all year, man. Might be 10 to 12 players away, but still one OC away. I mean, coaching staff changes are going to happen too, man.
Yep.
No, believe that.
Multiple position coaches.
Yeah. We could be 12-0 and Coach Prime would make changes. Ain't no way we ain't gonna make changes.
I mean,
with
he
just
did
4
it before.
wins. Yeah.
Hit the like button. Also subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Prob 23 pound.
Do it. It's fine.
Stop betting y'all wins on if number 2 and number 12 are playing in football. It's football. Next man up. It's always a new excuse every week with y'all
No.
lose the team just bad.
All right,
Please,
good job.
bro.
Thank you.
Thanks
Prob.
for the money.
Take care.
No,
Appreciate
I'm just going
you.
to say this.
That's ridiculous. That's not football.
The
Like,
best
na-
players win the games.
Thank you. Name a team in America in any sport that you take the 2 best players away and next man up, they're just that replaceable. Not in the history of sports is that possible.
And we said it when Travis was out. That's the best player, arguably the best player on offense. You can argue back and forth with Shador anytime you want. And the best player on defense. When you take him out, you're taking the best player on both sides or the second best player on one side and the best player on the other side. It's a joke.
And here's
Next
a-
man up is a great thing to say when you're on the team.
Yeah, here's another log on that fire. Not only are they who they are here, look where they are as it relates to the nation. Like, there ain't no other Travis Hunter
No.
anywhere.
No.
So there ain't no next man up.
He's going to play 1,000
There's
snaps this year.
probably, and you know, you hate to say this because the sacks really skew it, but arguably maybe there's another 1 or 2 Shadors out there
Yep.
statistically in college football.
Yep.
There ain't no next man up. When they're not available, there's a significant drop off.
And acting like Shador going out is some sort of excuse is a fucking joke. So, and you know,
I just got a text that said that man paid $5 to hate.
for real.
Thank you for helping us build this platform further. Once we reach the mountaintop, we'll look back on that. Appreciate you. Shout out to Warren with
We'll
2 thumbs up.
Warren
We'll
P.
toast
Rhymes with
to you
Warren
on
G.
the Winnebago next year.
No doubt. Hey, appreciate you,
Man,
Warren. You've been here
manifested,
for a
dog.
long time, man. Appreciate all the diehards and all the long timers, man. Even if it's only been
And at this hour.
hardly a year of this
This one on 9
experiment.
a.m., man. They're still with us.
Experiment's
I
not
love
a
it.
great word, but
We
this
got
experience.
great chat fans out there, man.
About a year ago right now is when we started to believe that Coach Prime might be a real possibility.
If only I knew y'all then, I could have told you it was a real possibility.
It's like right around now is when I was like, holy shit.
And dog,
We
like
might
I,
actually
like
get
I
Coach
said
Prime.
down there in the bar, man, I know we may have a different audience, right now than we had then. I know we got one more week, one more Utah game, then a press conference after that, as Coach Prime always does. But I got to get ahead of something, man, and give both of you guys a fist bump at the same time, because working with y'all this season has just been fucking phenomenal. The chemistry, the knowledge of the game, the energy, the passion. When I first got here in December, y'all are part of that meeting when we met with media folks, and I was trying to just find a lane and somebody I could vibe with, and man, the universe will look out for you, because I can't imagine.
Ryan, it's not even been a year since our first show titled "Will Deion Sanders be the next head coach of the Colorado
Wow.
Buffaloes?"
That'd
happened.
Be crazy.
That was November 22nd.
Let me just say this, Unc. I texted you this last night, but I also responded to this someone on Twitter, and it was when I was talking about Coach Prime fans versus Colorado fans, blah, 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 bullshit. Someone said, you guys and Uncle Neely is the perfect example of how to coexist. And I said, coexist doesn't do it justice. I consider Uncle Neely one of my good friends at this point.
Absolutely, man.
And that's the best part of all of this. Truly, I've been covering Colorado for the longest time. The amount of relationships, friendships, everything that I have to attribute to being a part of the community that surrounds Colorado football is ridiculous. I'm going to get married next year to someone I met on Folsom Field.
Yeah, and you got engaged at Folsom Field.
I got engaged at Folsom Field. So many of my best friends I met at Folsom Field. I met you at Folsom Field. I met Jake through Colorado football. Like all of this, we can, talk about the wins and losses all we want, but this is what it's all about to me.
Oh, absolutely,
100%.
man. And one of the things that we keep on stressing about the team being better next year, not hopping past this last game so much, but man, this shit is going to be so much better next year. The stuff we got planned that's coming, that's going to happen, y'all just get ready. Like
Amen.
if you love this, you just wait.
We're just laying the foundation this year.
That's all, man.
Coach
That's
Prime's
all.
just laying the foundation too, I believe, as well.
Oh, yeah. I really believe that.
Who's next?
Ain't no
Appreciate you,
telling.
Warren. Tom with the super chat. Imagine being a Rams or Husker fan right now, knowing you got beat by this CU team. It sucks to be and better dead. I still believe. Can't wait for next season. #SCO. Appreciate
I
you,
know
Tom.
there's those losers in this chat right now talking shit.
Oh yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
you
With the
gotta be
Arthur fist balled up.
Yes. You got to be such a loser to talk shit about a team that beat you.
Hate.
Like,
Pure hate.
I certainly root against Oregon every week. But you don't catch me talking shit about them because I
Oh,
know
no.
they beat our ass.
And did. And
And
I
I-
sit there and wait for somebody to beat them, but like you said, I ain't DMing them and tagging them and shit.
Exactly.
They got scoreboard, man.
That's embarrassing.
And then it's going to be so long before we play them again.
Will we play them both next year?
Yep.
Oh, we got them? Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Malcolm says, can't wait for a new O-line. Shout out Tallulah, LA, Louisiana. Appreciate you.
Tallulah, hey, man, when I go through Vicksburg over into Louisiana, man, Tallulah's right there. That's where you go get your lottery tickets.
I heard
before.
Vicksburg is where you go riverboat gambling.
That you heard right, brother.
That's where I'm going.
Because we're doing a South tour.
Jasmine with the super chat. Time will only tell, but what gives you confidence that Prime will reassemble a staff that can identify talent in the portal and develop that talent? Great coverage tonight. Sco Buffs.
Well, thank you for the great coverage comment. And now to take your question, I'm just going off of this, man. The best indicator of future performance is past performance. I saw Coach Prime at Jackson State go through struggles like this for that COVID season. And he made the same declaration, get me now, because when I get all my pieces in place and having learned what I'm missing and need, you're not going to get me. Jackson State went on to go undefeated in conference 2 years in a row with conference championships. And even in that vein, being undefeated each year, he would either make coordinator changes or just coaching changes because it ain't never good enough for him. And if it ain't never good enough for him and you're winning and you just ain't winning big enough, how do you think he feels about this? So there's going to be significant changes in roles and relationships on this staff, and there's going to be a massive usage of the portal because you had the opportunity now to see and learn what you have. You know, you might have thought you had a guy here or there, and now you got to see it in action. So, man, I'm expecting somewhere between December and June, it's going to be a lot of new faces around here.
Yep. And just to give an example, I don't know if he's coming here, but there is a starting tackle at Texas A&M right now who's from the state of Colorado. You don't think he's interested in coming home?
He's got to be,
playing
man.
for Coach Prime when Jimbo Fisher gets fired?
He's got to be, man.
I've been saying it all year. Starting players from big schools are going to come here to play football for Coach Prime and play in front of Shedeur Sanders. So just be patient. Stay tuned.
I have seen this movie before, man. Y'all going to like how it ends.
Mountain Aesthetic
Hang in there, Jake. You're doing great.
said they quit as Prime called them out. Worson's Weekly. Thank you for the money.
Jake is nailing it.
Jermaine with the super chat. Oh God, did Jake get that girl's phone number?
You know, man, let me tell you something.
She hung around like she was
did.
waiting for him to ask.
She wanted the ask. So I want y'all to visualize Dwayne Wade on the baseline under the basket doing this. Ball is in the air. Jake is LeBron. I did all I could.
Yep.
Like, I ain't even
dunk-
looking back to see if he dunked it.
He's got to dunk that shit.
Because I just put it there.
He's got to dunk that shit.
It's just, it,
I know what I'm
she
doing.
hung around. She circled back. She was smiling. You know, all I could do is feed him, man.
Jake's got the most serious look on his face.
I know what
he's
I'm
had all
doing.
night.
Leave me alone. Paisley Jones with the super chat. Can we upset Utah?
We can. We
I
got
hope
number
so.
2. We got number 12. Anything is possible.
Amen.
Globetrotter with the super chat. Cormani is looking like trash. I know y'all said it's a transition,
like a
but there have
freshman,
been
man.
other corners that came out of high school that transitioned without a problem. I mean, not everyone's Travis Hunter, man.
And of course he has places to go. You know, like he's got to get better. Tackling was a very clear issue tonight.
Yep.
And
For
it's been-
everybody, though.
Yeah, and it's been an
Glaring
issue.
to him, but for everybody.
And it's been an issue across the football team.
And one thing that happened tonight for Kamani
Appreciate
a
you,
couple
Sean.
times, let me give him, I guess, some defense in that he had a major being held on about 3 plays where he had opportunity to make a tackle or stop the play. But in that same vein, he has to grow up football IQ and in strength, and you can't just say, hey, I'm being held. You got to fight it off. And you got to use body language to let the ref know you're being held. You see defensive linemen do it all the time.
Yep.
Like they know how to demonstrate I'm being held to get the ref's attention.
Yep.
You can't just stand there and just go like, hey, he's holding me. But that comes with growth, man, game experience.
Amen.
You'll get there.
I think that's
You don't
all
need to have faith in me. I've got me. Frederick
Hattiesburg,
says,
Mississippi.
You gotta relax, Jake.
where do I send my resume? I'm in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. I'm coming.
Man, 49 South, Hattiesburg.
Is that where Brett Favre's from?
Yeah, boy, he went to school at USM there. They got a
Okay.
restaurant, here you go Neely talking about food, called the Front Porch in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Let me know, tell you this. When we go to Mississippi and make our way to the Senior Bowl, then New Orleans, then over to Atlanta for Pastor Dewey's church, taking you to Stamberg and Jackson, we're going to the Front Porch in Hattiesburg.
Let's go. Also, not a Brett Favre fan, just so no one accuses me of
There's
anything.
a lot of people in Mississippi right now who are not Brett Favre
But
fans.
maybe his most famous loss game against the Broncos. Double-digit
That's
favorite in the
facts.
Super Bowl.
I mean, I'd probably say his most famous loss is actually the Saints one, but
Yeah, that was so late.
Brett
though.
Favre.
it's the mood
Going
every
for
day, Cooper.
back-to-back double-digit
Surprised he
favorite.
hadn't been here. I mean, other than his issues he's working on in Mississippi. You know, he and Prime are real close. They like talk weekly.
Interesting.
That's the mood every day, Cooper.
Jake,
What?
we're on your team.
Still me versus the world.
Look,
It's not you versus the world. We're with you, bro.
I mean, I gave bounce pass. I gave lob. I put him in. He's begging for the ball over here in this wing. I'm like, no, that's not your spot.
Hey,
Get over here. Like,
I
I
gotta
orchestrated it, man.
There's an old phrase. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Yeah.
But sometimes the horse just isn't thirsty. And that's what happened tonight.
Because he's got so much water already, he don't need nothing. Jake got game. But I did
He
say
thinks
it.
I'm hating. Like, I see that face. You think
That
I'm
really
hating.
was a compliment.
It was a compliment.
really was. We diss him so much, though, he doesn't know when we're actually praising him. Yeah,
He
all you
knows
had-
we love him,
all
though.
you had
I
to do is
know.
dunk
I
it,
know
though.
deep down he knows that.
I do know that.
Good.
You should have dunked it, though, Jake. You should have got the number just in front of me.
Don't
even if
worry
you threw it
about
away.
me. Leave me alone.
Just
I'm
for
not
the
throwing
vibes.
any more lobs.
We believe in you.
Jake.
I believe in me.
Good.
That's all I
Jake,
need.
you are smooth.
There we go. See, there we're all gassing you up.
Smooth as sandpaper.
I'll be fine. I don't know what else to say.
All right.
Hey, man, it is.
I got something to
It's
say.
120, man.
Go ahead.
What you got? Give it to us.
Every single time, this show is cathartic for me. That game fucking sucked, but I feel good right now.
I do have something to say, actually.
Say it, man. Speak on it.
Shout out to chat and Buff Nation. I love y'all first. I feel like I should just say that.
Love
But-
you too, Jake.
The fan base in this chat has just been amazing all year. I'm not paranoid.
Come on, Jake. Come on, get it out.
Keep it going.
The point is, y'all have been amazing.
Jake, look at us. Don't look at the chat. Do you won't get distracted?
Y'all have been amazing. This whole experience has been amazing, and I can't wait for the future because I really do think the best days for this program for Coach Prime at Colorado are ahead of us.
Yeah, I agree.
We're just getting started, baby.
And dude, here's what they don't realize: is this is some all year long shit. This ain't just football season shit.
It is.
Like
No doubt.
They think they're not gonna see us the second week of January. Like, no, we here.
Hey, the first time we get a 5-star commit, they're going to be right back watching this
Oh,
show.
yeah.
So
That won't take long.
Oh yeah. We're
Jake
just getting
is smooth
started.
as a roller coaster.
And
Let's fucking go, Jake. Jake to go.
all you haters, I hope you're here.
Turn up, Jake.
I hope you're here next
I love
year.
the
I can't
shout-outs.
wait to see you.
I love the shout outs to
Absolutely.
Jake. Jake has earned them.
hey,
Get us while you can.
we ain't hard to find, bro.
Let's go.
We ain't hard
Like,
to
let's
find.
go off the air. Or...
Yep. Let's go home.
All right, chat. A little bit of a weird schedule next week because of Thanksgiving. So we will be live on Monday. We will be live on Tuesday. We are going to enjoy Wednesday and Thursday. I hope you guys do as well. And then we will be back on Friday for the pregame show live from Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
And then for the postgame show on Saturday night from Salt Lake City. And
And who knows, man? You know, because
Then it
our
gets real.
excellent travel agent letting us sleep in, you might wake up to a Sunday morning show.
Nope.
I tried,
But
y'all.
we might get a bullshit 8:30 p.m. time, so it might be a Sunday morning show on Saturday.
for real, though, chat, love you guys. I love you guys.
Hey, great. Love you too, Jake. You're
Yeah.
the man. I love the way
Give me
you
some.
just,
And shout out
take
producer
play.
Alyssa, the actual GOAT.
Oh, my bad.
The one who makes us all look
She
much
does.
better than we actually are.
She was off
Amen.
camera a lot downstairs, you know. Didn't have her headphones on. I was trying to shout her out.
Because Alyssa's always working.
She always working. I was watching her out the corner of my eye and that half a sandwich she had down there.
All right, good night,
I
y'all.
was like, is she going to eat
Go
that?
Buffs.
Go Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.